Welcome back to Let's Play Tintin, President of the Sun! Last time around, we did various things, such as fighting a giant snake and escorting Scaredy Cat Sereno through a swamp, because he was too useless to do it himself. And today we're finally going to beat the game by completing the last 4 stages, and maybe we'll find a passage further up. That's what she said. Sorry. So our first of the 4 final stages is this waterfall, cunningly titled The Waterfall. And this stage is kind of tricky if you don't know what you're doing. Mind you, a lot of the stages in this game are kind of tricky if you don't know what you're doing, but this one is especially so. We have various things to harm us here. We have spiked rocks jutting out from the ground, and we have little rocks falling from the top of the screen. But by far the biggest enemy in this stage is the time limit. As you can probably see, it's going at quite a rate of knots. Now fortunately, there are various clock power-ups that you can collect throughout this stage, in order to give yourself a lot more time, make the stage a lot more manageable. But if you miss out even a couple of clocks, you're going to find this extremely tricky to do in the time limit. Also, there is a couple of tricky jumps to make, and if you mess up them in crucial areas, you'll find yourself falling down, taking damage from the fall, and also losing yet more time. So yeah, this stage is not particularly pleasant. And I clearly like this a little bit of the landscape, because I keep going onto it for some reason. Because I'm an idiot and keep missing that very, very easy jump. I said there were some pixel-perfect jumps. That's not one of them. That's easy. You push this log with the R button and then pushing into it with the right D-pad button. Remember that, because it'll come in handy for later on. And here we have a nice little hidden cache of power-ups. We have health and clocks. In fact, 2 clocks and 2 health apiece. But you also need to go here, so it's not really that hidden, to collect this rope lying on the ground here. You need this rope in order to beat the stage. I would say that perhaps you can probably get through this if you know where you're going, collecting maybe 3, 4 or 5 extra clocks. But if you're a bit nervous or you haven't played through this before, search around to try and find all the extra time that you can get your hands on, because believe me, you're going to need it. And even when you think that you are close to the end of the stage, because believe it or not, we are, just climb up this little thing here, and beyond that log is the end of the stage. But in order to get to the end of the stage, we have to make an absolutely ludicrous precision jump. You've got to run off the edge of that log, and when you're at the very tip of the log, jump. If you do it anywhere else in the log, you will fall and have to do it all over again or even die. Fortunately, Tintin hitches his rope across, and that's the end of the level. Unfortunately, the rope was clearly made by the Acme company because it's useless and it snaps, and now Tintin's falling to his death. Except not, because actually that death-defying swing somehow guided him to the secret entrance to the Temple of the Sun. I call that convenient. I call that convenience of the highest caliber. God damn it, Infogrames. Actually no, god damn it, Hergé, because again, Infogrames followed the plot of the story pretty faithfully from Hergé's original, at least in the cutscenes. Now we're in the cave, and this place is a lot easier than the waterfall if you know where you're going. But by the way, if you push that rock from the left side, that little pebble, or boulder, or whatever the hell it is, will fall and hurt you. If you do it from the right side, that won't happen. So this level is basically a maze, but before you all freak out and break out in hives because I said the words maze in a video pertaining to a video game, don't sweat it. This is very, very easy. Even if you had played this game only a couple of times, you can probably figure out where you want to go. That's kind of tricky if you don't know. You've got to dive under that wall, but fortunately Tintin can't drown in this game. He has infinite lung capacity underwater for some unholy reason. Basically, if you just follow the route I'm taking here, you'll get through this cave in record time. There's plenty of health in case you get hit. This is a nasty trap though. If you collect that health power up over to the right, you will fall in a hole and have to go all the way back to near the start of the level. And that can cost you time, and maybe if you did that a couple of times, you'd run out of time. But really, this is just easy. The only other tricky thing here is this jump coming up here. If you miss this jump, then again you could possibly run out of time. There's health here, but wait for that rock to fall, otherwise you'll just lose the health that you got. That's the phone. Isn't that great? Then make a little jump over here to this entrance. And believe it or not, once again we're at the end of the stage. These final stages are not very long, but they are tricky, especially the down waterfall if you don't know what you're doing. And here it may look like you've come to a dead end, but just go in front of this doorway, push up, and you'll go further into the foreground, and then we find the secret entrance. And I like how Snowy is trying to push against this wall, because you know, two grown adults and a little kid really aren't going to be able to push a wall down without the help of a little dog. And now what you've done, Tintin, you've pushed the wall down and you've come across a meeting of the flipping Illuminati. God damn it. Actually no, these are the Inca. As the game very helpfully tells you, it's the Inca. And you're in trouble now, boys, because the Inca don't take shit from anybody. Yes, our laws decree but one penalty. You must watch Red Sonja on loop for 10 hours straight. No, it's even worse than that. They have to be put to death. Fortunately, our new friend, the Lord High Executioner, oh yeah, and Calculus, he's also going to the gallows, so good luck with that, guys. Fortunately, our new friend, the Lord High Executioner here, is a benevolent Lord High Executioner and grants us one favour. You may choose the hour and the day of when you die. I picked December the 22nd, 2012. Because it's not like, you know, it's the end of the world or anything like that. It isn't, by the way, but I'm not going into that in this video. Okay, so now another cutscene where Snowy has done the dirty on this newspaper, unfortunately. And this actually leads us to a puzzle stage. Tintin the Bet had a puzzle stage. All you've got to do is correctly recreate this newspaper. It's very similar to the jigsaw games, you know, the hidden jigsaw games from Banjo-Kazooie, but it's even easier than that because you don't have to rotate the pieces to make them fit. Because god damn it, that was an absolute train wreck back in that game. I hated those puzzles. We even have a handy outline here that shows us where all the pieces are to go. My recommendation is try and get all the little pieces out of the way first and leave the big pieces till last, because it's a lot more obvious as to where they go, because any second now, there you are, the outline disappears, and now all you've got to rely on is your memory. Fortunately, I have an excellent memory, and so should you, because this isn't particularly tricky in the slightest. As long as you've kept the middle pieces till last, you can pretty much work out from the picture they're forming what order they're meant to go in. And yeah, there really is nothing else to. That piece is kind of tricky. It goes to the top right hand corner there. But other than that, it's elementary, isn't it, my dear Watson? And there we are, the paper is fully formed. And due to the information in that newspaper, which I'm not going to spoil, see if you can work it out, Tintin elects to die 18 days from now. And I love Captain Haddock's reaction in this cutscene. Just his expression is absolutely hilarious. Now our final level is something else. As you can see, Tintin and Captain Haddock have had their arms tied, and believe it or not, we are actually running to our own sacrifice. And this is probably the second trickiest level out of the run of 4, but it's still not that hard. You've got to avoid these rocks that fall from the ground, and also these guards that are brandishing spears in your general direction, but only the tip of the spear can actually harm you. And up here, we have something to make this stage even easier, and I've just missed it and fallen to the spear, and I'm likely going to die. It's that one-up, by the way. If you can get that, then you're laughing. You can also scroll yourself off the screen if you're not careful, so just keep an eye on where Tintin is. I've got a horrible feeling I'm not going to make it on this turn, but you know what? I've got 3 lives to burn, so it's not the end of the world. God damn it, that was the end of the stage too. If I just jumped over that one spear that was coming up to me in the foreground, I'd have made it as well. But oh well, it wouldn't be a Rainiac LP without death and failure. Am I right or am I right? Spoilers, I'm always right, except I'm not. There is actually a fun little glitch that if you go really, really quickly, because you can actually control the speed at which you're running at, you can hold back to hang around, or you can press forward to speed up. And I'm taking damage like it's going out of fashion here, but fortunately, as I said, there you are. As long as you get to this ledge, you'll get the one-up with ease. It may look dire because I only have 1 health left, and I nearly jumped over the one-up, but once you've got the one-up, as long as you don't take too much stupid damage, you'll do this with relative ease. As I said, there is a fun little glitch that if you go so fast, you will actually get past Captain Haddock, and he will run behind you to catch up, and then he will glitch out spectacularly. But we've made it to our funeral pyre. Tintin was literally late for his own funeral, wow. And our Lord High Executioner friend tries to invoke the sun to burn us at the stake. But fear not, because Tintin invokes his own stupid voodoo witchcraft and gets the sun to cover itself up. Except he doesn't. He's a cheating bastard because it's a solar eclipse. Congratulations, Tintin. You made a bunch of simple Incan people terrified for their lives because you manipulated the powers of science to predict a solar eclipse that you didn't actually predict, you just read it in a newspaper. I hope you feel proud of yourself. Actually, you probably do, because in doing that, you've just saved your lives and the lives of all your companions. And by the way, Zorino is not with us at the stake. That's because it's not shown in the game, but remember the big Indian that was shooting at us in level 3? At some point, he gives Tintin a medallion in the story that says, and it says to him, this may protect your life later on. So he gives it to Zorino when they're taken before the Inca, and the Lord High Priest, wherever he is, sees the medallion and refuses to kill him. It protects him. Your wish shall be granted. Okay, then. I desire a lifetime supply of sky spores. Not really. And with that rather boring still image of Zorino looking terrified that he's got the Lord High Priest holding him by the shoulders, that brings us to an end, and not before time. Let's play Tintin, Prisoners of the Sun. Final thoughts on this game? It's alright. Back when I LP'd Tintin in Tibet, which, believe it or not, is nearly 2 years ago now, doesn't time fly me not having any fun at all, I said that game was actually pretty decent and got a bit of a bad reputation. I can't say exactly the same for this one. It's not a terrible game, but there are parts of it that I just can't recommend it over Tintin in Tibet. If you like Tintin and you want to play the sequel to Tintin in Tibet, then sure, go ahead. But certain stages like the goddamn train and the goddamn waterfall and the fucking condor just mean I cannot recommend this in all good faith to anybody. Not as a must-play game. Not that Tintin in Tibet was a must-play game, but it was better than this one. But I've seen far worse, and I've seen far worse produced by Infogrames, so yeah, if you want to give it a try, don't let me stop you. And that near 45-second ramble brings to an end this Let's Play. I hope you've all enjoyed it as much as I've enjoyed making it, and I apologise that the final part took way too long to come out. Issues I'm not going to go into here. That brings to an end this Let's Play. Join me next time in roughly 2 or 3 weeks' time for the start of my next one, which hopefully you'll enjoy just as much as this one. Until then, I've been Rainiac. Auf Wiedersehen.